Hey guys, so today I want to do another comparison video. This is going to compare the P365 X versus the P365 XMacro. Now, at first glance, you probably think these guns look so much different, but I promise they are actually more alike than you would expect. Full disclosure, neither one of these were sent to me by SIG. This here is one we bought about 4 years ago. My wife carries this every day. And this here is my personal everyday carry. I've had this for a little over a year. I guess YouTube likes me to show everything is safe. Gotta start remembering to do that in the videos. So yeah, let's talk about what makes them different first. Obviously, the X looks a lot smaller, right? So you'll notice the grip way shorter, and this does only have a 12 round capacity. Now with the macro, the slide is definitely longer and it is definitely taller. This has a 17 round capacity. Now, let's talk about some things that make them in common. I'm going to try to do this so you guys can see this from the camera. But when you hold them up next to each other, you will see they are extremely similar. Now, they have the same barrel length of 3.1 inches. The only additional length is actually where you have the comp on this XMacro. And then with this guy here, you'll see that is flush. So if you're talking overall terminal ballistics, as far as velocity, carrying the same ammo, you're getting the same out of both. Now I will say the P365 X is so convenient to carry. I've literally carried this in a holster in a cargo pocket before, and it's so compact you can't even tell it's there. Obviously, having a smaller magazine, less weight, it's just much more convenient. Once you get up to 17 rounds, it starts to be a little bit more challenging. I would not carry that in a cargo pocket. Now, so let's talk about magazines. Here's the two to give you guys an idea. There is one cheat code I will tell you if the only thing you're worried about is carrying capacity. But before we get into that, I do want to show you for size comparison. I wear a size large in mechanics gloves, and this is my biggest gripe with shooting this gun is you'll see my hand is bigger than this. So every time I would shoot my wife's gun, my hand hangs over, it's not as comfortable, and it does make it a little more snappy. Now with the XMacro here, you'll see that little bit of extension makes this fit perfectly in my hand. A reason I like to talk about the fit of the hand, right? So when my wife first got this, I went with, what's everyone say to get as their first gun? A Glock 19. And not gonna say anything bad about Glock, extremely reliable. It would shoot every time, does everything you need it to do. But for me personally, it's a little bit thick. Something I would not want to carry every day, something I've tried, I did not like, something I don't really love shooting. So I remember when I'd go to the range with this, how well that fit in the hand. I think this comes in at just about a 1.1 inch thick. Don't know the specs off the top of my head for the Glock, but is significantly thicker. So when I got to shoot this, the thing I loved the most about it was you had that same thin profile, but they finally fixed the length of that. So to me, I could comfortably shoot that for a while and it never really bothered me. Now, going to what I was telling about the cheat code here for this, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of you guys out there who probably bought this because this has been around for many years and you've been thinking about going to the XMacro. Now, what is really awesome that SIG did, when you buy an XMacro magazine, it comes with these pieces down here that can be swapped out. Now, swapping that out, that fits nice and flush in the P365 X. So now you have the same 17 round capacity, but you now have a longer grip. Now, I will say, you're not going to get the same effect as the comp. The X will always be a little bit snappier because you don't have that comp. Is it a game changer? I don't think it is. But if you already have one of these and you simply want the carry capacity of an XMacro, you can just buy the magazine. Save yourself a couple $100 or the price of a whole new gun if you have one already. The other difference I will say, this, because I bought it so many years ago, when we got this, it came with this optic. It did not have rear sights like the XMacro where you can co-witness. I do believe though that the new 365 X, SIG has changed that. I think they put the optic plate a little bit forward where you still do have iron sights. Because when I was on their website last night getting some information to do the comparison, I did notice that they all do have the rear iron sights. Another significant difference, the accessory rails. Right? On the X, not a lot of real estate there. That's just the regular SIG rail. Versus with the XMacro, you get a little bit more real estate. You got the 1913 rail. Although, when looking at weapon lights, I will say there was not a whole lot of options that would really fit this. It's not a lot of space. I think the only one that would really fit was the TLR7 by Streamlight, the sub. So for me personally, when I saw that, it even stuck out a little bit. I wasn't a huge fan, didn't think it had a great lumens. So I decided to not go with one. I do plan on getting a weapon light on my next carry though. Let's check my notes here. Other than that, the only real difference is a little bit of weight. The X compared to the XMacro, you're talking a 4-ounce difference. Not tremendous, but yeah, guys, that is my comparison. I will say my wife had this for 4 years. It's the only thing she shoots. She shoots pretty well with it now. So any of you out there who are looking for a great carry option and you don't want something super thick and you want something that's very concealable, the P365 X would be my suggestion. Now, if you want an option that's going to be a little bit less snappy, I've not shot it myself, but I've heard wonderful things about it. The P365 XL is the same grip, but a little bit longer. So I hear that makes it a little bit less snappy without having a comp in there. So guys, I hope you like this video. If there's anything I missed or anything you want to know, these are both my personal guns. Had them for many years. Shot a lot of stuff out of them. I can probably answer just about anything you guys can think of with these. Please put it in the comments below. And thanks again for tuning in. Have a good one.